I keep trying to tell this story. The way people say stories should behave. Linear, obedient, trimmed of anything that might stain the tablecloth. But the story keeps tugging at my sleeve, saying, "Not like that. Not the museum version. Tell it the way it lived in your body." So I start again. I say, "This is a story about a girl." The story says, "No. It's about the architecture she inherited." I say, "This is a story about survival." The story says, "Survival is only the surface tension. Look deeper." I say, "This is a story about me." The story says, "You are a single thread in a much older fabric." And maybe that's the part we're all choking on. How private wounds refuse to stay private, how they echo through rooms we thought we'd locked behind us. How the world keeps asking for explanations while covering its ears. I try to tell the story in order, but trauma doesn't do order, it does order, it does recursion. It returns like a season you thought you'd outgrown. I try to tell it gently, but truth has its own texture. A kind of sharpness that doesn't apologize for existing. I try to tell it without naming anyone, but the story insists on accuracy. The mother who drowned in her own weather. The father who drifted like fog. The institutions that called themselves safety while rehearsing abandonment. The culture that teaches girls to make themselves small and then blames them for disappearing. I try to tell it without naming myself, but the story won't let me hide either. It says, "Tell them how you ran, tell them how you returned, tell them how you mistook hunger for devotion, tell them how you learned to mother a child before you learned to mother the girl inside you." I try to tell it without indicting the world, but the world keeps volunteering, offering fresh evidence, fresh echoes, fresh reasons to speak. So here it is. The story I'm not supposed to tell. The one that keeps rising in my throat like a truth with its own pulse. It says, "Tell them the cost. Tell them the ongoing cost. Tell them how many people are living this story right now and calling it normal because no one ever told them it wasn't. So I tell it, not because I'm fearless, I'm not, but because silence is a lineage I refuse to extend."